Hello, everybody, and welcome to Future is in the Science, which is a kind of a sequel of a really legendary Turkish science communication channel, which is Gelecek Bilimde. But this is an international science channel, and my name is Cevdet Acarsoy. I'm a research assistant and clinical psychologist at Leiden University. And who I have here is legendary, wait for it, Ayhan Sicimoğlu. Welcome.
Thank you. Wow, what an honor that you call me legendary.
Yeah,
I wish I
it
was.
is to me, and I'm sure for many,
Really?
many more people.
Wow.
And let's check our let's hear from our viewers. Is everything good with the image and audio? I think it's good. Let's hear from the chat. Yeah, so we had a similar talk in Turkish, but we thought why not waiting all the people in the world about this talk. And I know that you have lots of and lots of friends may want to listen you in the TV or other mass media places, but your native language is Turkish. Maybe they were having hard time to follow. Were there any instances like that? Did you also be a guest in international national or radios? There?
Yes, I did a couple of interviews with BBC
Oh,
and in Italy, Rai, and what else? Let me remember. Try to remember you. But probably more in USA, the CNN World Channel, a couple of events
okay.
like this.
Okay, so yeah, so then we are the last one after all those famous channels. But I promise this is the most sincere one, I think. So welcome again, and thank you for
Thank you.
accepting our invitation. And for those of you who don't know you, you introduce yourself in your own words. Who
Oops.
is Ayhan Sicimoğlu?
Oh, what a difficult task. Okay, Ayhan Sicimoğlu is a world citizen, which let me tell you what I hope that I should be, what I'm hoping that I am. A world citizen, and a world traveler, and maybe a food critic, a musician, quite international. In about 3 days' time, we're going to the Greek island of Rhodos
Wow.
to play at the Rhodos International Jazz Festival. Me and my band with a guest from Greece, a Turkish Latin, not pardon, Turkish Greek music. Hey, Ahmet, çok gürültü var, bir şey yapıyorum burada. Somebody came to collect the garbage.
That's okay.
Ahmet came to collect the garbage. So we have this is the summer house in Bodrum. So we have a different setup, not like last time Istanbul house. This is a summer house which belongs to my wife, not me. And but I do not come here very often. Maybe 3 times a year or something, like 2 days only. I came yesterday, day before yesterday, because my daughter had a classical music concert. And at the same night, after the concert, which is a beautiful place called Zai in Bodrum. Zai stands for olives in the ancient languages. Zai. And then it's a huge garden full of art, statues and paintings and galleries, art galleries, beautiful garden with like seating and a nice stage. After her concert, I signed my new book to the fan, and that's why my right hand is kind of numb, holding, signing 500 or more books. I don't remember, and it's not signing that makes it. It's the photos that let's have a photo which I have to smile in every photo taken from those cell phone photos, and people wait to take their best position. So sometimes they come here again. This one wasn't nice. Can I have another one?
Oh.
There's a big queue of these people, so they go back to the queue because they just don't like the photo. Amazing. This cell phone photo thing really has killed me. Anyway, that was nice. So that's why I'm here. So this was there for yesterday night till late hours. Then we had some dinner there. We had some nice wine, Turkish wine, great Turkish food. I modified a modern Turkish kitchen, which we can call nouvelle cuisine Turk, if you
Oh,
want.
nouvelle cuisine.
Nouvelle cuisine Turk. That was quite interesting. Which I believe, again, jumping conclusions here, but I believe Turkish kitchen is the best kitchen in the world.
Yeah.
Now,
Between you and me, I also agree.
some people don't like this, but it is. You know why? Because it's a huge, from India to Vienna, this empire owned, rich empire. They own the world. So they brought, and the sultans, they're like, oh, they're bon gusteur, they're bon viveur, of course, the harems and the kitchens, and you have to see Topkapı Palace's kitchens to understand what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. And so they ate the best of best. So they brought all this food from. So when people call me, the Greeks, they stole our baklava. No, same empire food. That if that's the case, then we stole from the Arabic countries. Baklava is not originally Turkish; it's
Yeah.
Arabic.
Yeah. No one stole anything. It was there
Ah,
from all in
yes,
the beginning. Yeah.
yes, and it changed because it's the baklava in Beirut is better than baklava in Turkey. Excuse me.
Oh.
Baklava in Turkey is better than baklava in Greece. I mean, so the
Okay.
further it gets, it gets away from the roots, it's losing its authentic, of course, taste. So if you say Greeks stole our baklava, no, nobody stole nothing. It's the whole imperial food that owned all these lands, so the cultures carried away. So you can have same name baklava in Beirut is baklava in Greece. Kadayif in Turkish is kadayifi. There's one. They add one
One
little
letter. Yeah.
one letter, and it becomes then becomes Greek. Muhallebi, dolma
Yeah.
is like the stuffed things becomes dolmades in Greece. Köfte, the meatballs, Turkish becomes köftedes in Greece, but it's kufte in that Arabic country. So so I love this culture sharing with food, and nobody stole nobody from nothing from nobody. It's same people, same roots, same soil, same earth, same trees, same agriculture, same everything.
Yeah.
Same culture. So coming back to our story, this of course discussion would probably explain you my gourmet side of myself, the gourmet side of myself, and then and what else I make TV shows for Turkish televisions,
Okay.
4 channels, 3 different shows.
At the same time?
At the same time. There are different topics. I have a show, very old show, but probably 20 years now. It's called Renkler, which means in Turkey the colors. So what is Renkler? Renkler, the colors. You can watch this in YouTube, of course, if you like.
Yeah.
The colors is colors of the world, colors of my life, colors of my life. So I just shoot what I do, what I my travels.
So it's not a setup, or you don't
No.
go to there to film the show, but you just go there and at the same time film it. I think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes and no, because of course before going there, I have to make a lot of research. I have to take my cameraman. I have the 2 camera or 3 cameramen with me, my photographer. What I need, which I had, if I had the money, is somebody would prepare an assistant, but I don't have an assistant at this point, so I have to prepare all my information out myself. I have to study everything myself. I have to memorize everything myself.
Which is difficult than it seems, I must say.
Very difficult.
Yeah. I tried to film some, like I had a YouTube channel for hobby, like a travel channel, which is of course like nothing compared to your programs. But even for that one, you had to do a lot of research.
Yes.
A lot of research, and then you cannot find it's like everyday generic knowledge that the tour guides tell. You need to find some real knowledge, which makes you dig in more. By the way, we have a some other Twitch streamer called Deyege. He's also doing really good art stuff on live. So he just like our live stream on live, he just draws really good art pieces, and then also talks. And I think he does in Turkish/English streams. That's why I think he's here. And he says It's amazing to see you on Twitch, Mr. Sicimoğlu. Welcome. Ed.
Well,
And
thank you.
and one other, Kunz D. Meister, says, a real Turkish gentleman, Mr. Sicimoğlu. We love you. He said, so they are all welcoming you.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
Dege says, I'm honored now. He's in tears. Okay. Hi.
Say hi to him from here.
Which
Great.
brings me to the words that you use, same soil, same food, same land, which brings me to like the topic of today, cultures of the world. You think, because I really love Yanni, which is like the new age composer. I really really love him, adore his music and style. In one of his concerts in front of big great pyramids in Giza, he said there are no races. There's only one race, and it is human race. We are all part of the human race. What do you think about that?
I think we all come from Africa.
Okay.
We're African. We had African heart, soul. We all come from Africa, which is, of course, as you know, is the truth now. And we had to travel land to seek for fortunes and adventures. We went to other lands, but the home is Africa to all of us. And of course, we change colors and whatnot, skins and hair colors with the environment. But of course, there's no race if you dig down. But later on, of course, they admit that the races start because people, by geographical distances, get detached from each other. So, I mean, that's why, coming back to the baklava or kadayif baklava story, I mean, it gets detached. So if you eat the Beirutin baklava and eat in Greece, they're like totally different sweets with the same name.
Yeah.
But they're detached because of the geographical obstacles, let's say. So the races start forming. People change, the habits, daily lives, agriculture, whatever. So we differentiated. But it's very interesting. Let me add you something, if I may. I just read a book. Excuse me. Not just. I read this book like maybe even 10 years ago. The time is changing now. It's called Noah's Flood. The Noah's Flood, Nuhun Tufanı. It happened, according to two scientists, happened in Black Sea, which was a very civilized agriculture, not hunter and gatherers anymore. People settled doing agriculture and in the farming and animals domesticated, etc., etc. And Black Sea was a lake. It was a sweet water lake. It was not a sea. But with the melting and the opening of the
Bosphorus?
Not Bosphorus, before even Bosphorus, the Mediterranean, the what you call entrance of the oceans into all the way from the Portugal and Spain.
Ooh, okay.
And the Mediterranean rises, and the Bosphorus today was a little sweet river flowing into the lake of Black Sea, and all of a sudden, with the rising of the sea waters, there's a big, probably an earthquake, I presume, at this point, because it's an earthquake area. It burst open, and 60 meters of waterfall started flowing into the Black Sea. And the people, I mean, it was not a flood all of a sudden, but the water started raising, like about a feet a day, 30 centimeters a day. So the villagers got panicked, and some people said, because there was no flood or storm into the sea, was it like Black Sea, but just rising. So some people said, okay, let's climb the mountain. They're very high mountains. Let's climb mountains and go southbound. And some said, no, that's not a good idea. Let's make a boat and take our boats, build big boats, and then go into the sea. So this is that's where the Noah's flood comes here now.
Yeah.
So they, the ones who went on the sea thing with the animals, with their wives, with their plants, with their pottery, with their civilization, if I may so, they went all the way in to the Danube River, Tuna Nehri,
Yeah.
traveling inbound into Romania and all into the Europe, and they found out later on similarity of music and pottery of the Black Sea people in the Balkan area.
Yeah.
And the ones who did the mountains, most of them died, and the ones who survived, the theory goes that they formed the Mesopotamian culture.
Yeah.
The Golden Triangle business. Anyway, coming back to stories, so the cultures, they were so different, and yet in such cases they became united. Like this is one episode. This is just a theory.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody has, like, I joined the expedition we were diving into the Black Sea to find this out, and we could prove that it was a lake, but we would never found an old village or anything on the underwater.
By the way, the book was Noah's Flood by Walter Parks or William Ryan.
Walter Pittman, I think, or William Ryan. Yes, two guys. I met them both.
Okay, well, yeah, because we had this Goodreads account, and then we accumulate the books that we talk about, and since it's like a scientific theory, or at least pseudo-scientific theory, we should maybe give the source to the viewer, right?
Very, very right. It's a very interesting book. Ryan and Pittman, I think it's Pittman. Isn't it Pittman? Maybe I'm mistaken. It's been years that I met them both. We have invited them to Istanbul with my institution. I had one institution here in Turkey called TINA, Turkish Institute of Nautical Archaeology.
Wow.
I am the president of
I don't think it's well known among your fans, though, right? I also
the fans maybe not. Some of them, I mean the big fans they know.
I found it. Yeah, the Noah's Flood, the new scientific discoveries about the event that changed history. Okay, I'm now adding to our shelf. If you wrote, I think, exclamation book to the chat, you will find the link to.
Yeah, great. So you go under TINA, TINA.
Okay. I'm searching it now. So it's like underwater, like nautical archaeology. What is it? Because we know archaeology, but nautical archaeology is.
It is very, very important. It has been founded by Professor George Bass, an American scholar, professor, who is still alive, but not in a very good form. He was paralyzed. He's getting very old now, but he's a great guy. I had worked with him. I had the pleasure of learning this everything from him. In 1976, I came to Bodrum, where I am right now, and I joined a team of INA, Institute of Nautical Archaeology. At that time, it belonged to the Pennsylvania University. Now it belongs to the Texas A&M University. So we started diving for shipwrecks. The reason that is so important is it's like a time capsule, because in land archaeology, you dig and you found layer after layer to different time zones.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get clustered together, so you don't really know which. I mean, is it like 200 years difference, 300 years difference, maybe 500 years difference? It depends. The older you get, but underwater archaeology, the moment the ship sinks, that day it's frozen. So if you can date the sinking date more or less, by carbon tests and everything, you know what is in that ship is what existed. I mean, nobody added anything or nobody took anything from it.
That's super good.
Thousands of years. So if you ever come to Bodrum, I think now they dismantled it. I do not know why. I'm a little bit sad about this.
Oh.
And all these things that we have been working for many years with our heart devoted, the devotion from our souls and hearts and bodies, very dangerous. I mean, I would a couple of times I was dying, you know, in underwater.
Oh, because of the underwater.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And with all the sacrifices we have made, and we have reconstructed a shipwreck, two shipwrecks almost. One is a 10th century glass shipwreck, and one is Uluburun, world famous shipwreck from 1600 BC.
Wow.
It's a Bronze Age shipwreck. Uluburun. But go into if you go into TINA and Bodrum Kalesi, Bodrum Castle, I think somebody said I have not been. I'm kind of sad. I have not been into castle this time, but I'm playing music at the Bodrum Jazz Festival on 7th September. So I had to go to the castle. I was protesting it because they dismantled our expositions. I heard they took it away and they said, "Oh, they're going to build another building for a museum." But when? First you build the museum, and then if you want to carry, I guess can because it's a beautiful setting in the castle. I hope they will not make into shopping center or something in the castle. I hope not. But Turks, with all due respect, they have they have this tendency of liking and visiting and building shopping malls.
Yeah.
Shopping malls everywhere. Stop shopping. Shop for your soul. Shop for your stomach. Eat. And
Shop
drink.
for your soul. I really like that quote. I'm going shopping malls everywhere. Yeah. So the reconstruction of the shipwreck Uluburun, they see it on the screen now. I put it on,
Yes.
and then the super interesting.
Can I see it too?
I think I can show you. Like this. You can see it in a really small way. Yeah.
Am I seeing it? Yes. I saw, yes. Yeah, that's Uluburun. And then go to the glass wreck, which I worked for 3 years, 40 meters under the sea, twice a day, which is very tough work. With air.
What's glass wreck?
Yes, glass. Glass, jump, glass.
Glass wreck, okay. Where?
It's in the castle, Bodrum Kalesi. Bodrum Underwater Archaeology Museum. Museum Underwater Archaeology Bodrum, that is. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Bodrum.
Anyway, so I've been working on this since 1976. Then I formed an institution in Turkey called not INA but TINA, Turkish Institute. Now I'm busy. Mr. Busy. I had given the directorship of one of my closest friends from my high school, which is the American high school in Turkey. That's why my English is like probably the way you think. Yeah. I've been taught English since I was 10 years old, for many years. And so Mr. Oğuz Aydemir, who's in charge of the institution now, is my classmate. And I'm the honorary president of TINA. And it's a great institution. It is like Uluburun has changed the world history. You have to read about this Uluburun shipwreck. There has been some publications on it. I do not know out of hand now in my mind which one to suggest.
I think the TINA is also publishing a scientific journal with this. That's really important though. Like it's not just like okay, we formed a institute. Yes. No, if there's a journal, then people will publish their articles there. Then it will create a momentum of scientific research on the topic, which is really nice. Yeah, I think we should all as a Turkish citizen first. And then, like a world citizen, we'll thank you and your friends to form that institute, because that's something that will be how do you say, that will be carried over to the tomorrows, right? To carry
So
it over to the future.
yes, so I was in America when I was in this institution. So I moved to Turkey. I said, why not make an institution in Turkey, because America was sponsored by all the wealthy people.
Yeah.
So I asked Mustafa Koç. I presume you know who he is, late Mustafa Koç. I said, Mustafa, let's probably, and he's also a diver. Very interesting. I made him dive on Uluburun. It may change his life forever. Maybe you can find, other day I was looking, maybe you can find in your, can you show videos from YouTube in the screen?
I think so. Yeah. Do you have like an episode with that?
Yes. If you enter TINA, I think as a search bar, if you
The
write
YouTube.
TINA,
Okay, I'm on it.
TINA and Mustafa Koç, see what happens. There should be in his after he passed away, there was a CNN interview with me, or I think it was CNN or NTV maybe. I'm not exactly sure. Which always this is telling the story, and he's telling about this. They found old movies of him talking about our institution.
Oh, okay.
Did you find it?
I think Cüneyt Özdemir was.
No, not. Yes, he was also, but I'm not talking about Cüneyt Özdemir, not that one.
No. I mean, not that interview. Okay.
Not the interview. There's another one. TINA, or you can write TINA Mustafa Koç. Mustafa Koç, Ayhan Sicimoğlu, you can write together.
Maybe that's better.
Actually, I have in my computer the link, but I'm talking to the computer now, so I don't know how to look into it.
Yeah, CNN, I found it. Yeah.
Is it CNN? Well, what does it say?
Okay, I'll make it on the screen.
Yes.
Let's fill in the bit, and then
let me see if it's the correct one.
Yeah, it's in the news with the CNN Turkish. I think that's.
They're talking to me first, and then I'm passing out to Mustafa Koç. Is that the one?
Yeah.
That's in Turkish, so you might have to translate this, or I will if I can hear it, of course.
I can't. Okay. Okay, they now see it, and then with sound on.
İş adamlarındandı. Eğitime, sanata,
No.
Mustafa Koç'u anlattı.
Right.
You hear, but
I will hear.
Mustafa Koç çok değişik, çok önemli.
This tells the story about it.
Sıra dışı bir arkadaşım.
Mustafa Koç was an extraordinary friend of mine.
Kalbimizde. Arkadaşım değil.
I won't say late.
You're translating.
Yeah.
Vermemişim ben. Ne haber kardeş?
I will say
bana.
What's up, brother?
Ben de cevap vermemişim de.
And I didn't respond.
Telefonu silinmiş. Çok üzüldüm ona.
And
he sent me SMS. What's up?
Ne haber kardeş? Onun için Mustafa'cığım, ne haber kardeş?
What's up, brother? You say now. His passion for sea was well known. With his close friend, musician Ayhan Sicimoğlu,
Archaeology Vakfı'nı kurdu.
he formed the Turkish
underwater
archaeology.
Kitabın adı Derinlerdeki Portreler.
And they published a book
Kitapta
like the
denizcilik
portraits
arkeolojisinin tarihi anlatılıyor.
and it's
Hazırlayan
talking
Mehmet
about the
Bezdan.
history of
Kitapta aynı zamanda
underwater
Mustafa
archaeology.
Koç'u anlatan bir de DVD yer
And
alıyor.
there's a DVD that talking about we dived together.
Kazana gittik. Beraber daldık ikimiz baş başa yan yana. Efendim orada yani işi onu biraz da ben şöyle söyleyeyim yani
I also motivated him to the diving. Not nautical archaeology,
Sual
I motivated him.
Tanışmam arkadaşım Ayhan Sicimoğlu. O da
Yeah,
TINA'nın kurucu üyelerinden bir
Ayhan
tanesi.
introduced me to
O beni ilk
nautical
defa 90'lı
archaeology.
senelerin başında Uluburun
Beginning of
batına
1990s,
götürdü.
we dived to
Oraya
Uluburun.
bir kere daldıktan sonra acayip etkilenmiştim.
After
Mustafa
one
Koç
diving,
anısına
I was
hazırlanan
super
Derinlerdeki
impressed.
Portreler kitabı önümüzdeki günlerde kitapçılardaki yerini
In the
alacak.
memory of Mustafa
Daha
Koç, the
dağıtılmadı. Daha bu
portraits
yani
in
bu şimdi bu
will be
haftalar
published.
başlayacak dağıtılmaya. Önümüzdeki günlerde. Bir de Karolin Koç ona çok güzel bir kitap hazırlamış. O bende var.
And
Büyük bir kitap.
Caroline
O da-
Koç
o-
is
o
also,
da
has also
aldı. Biraz o
prepared
şey olsun.
a book.
Biraz insanlar onu hazmetsinler.
About
Biraz
Mus-
bekledik biz. İkinci kitap olarak
Also,
arkada
that-
kaldık.
therefore we are
Karolin
waiting
kitabı daha
a
önemli
second book.
tabii.
Koç'un yakın
First one is
dostu
more.
Ayhan Sicimoğlu, Türkiye Sualtı
Close friend
Arkeolojisi
Ayhan
Vakfı'nın önemine
Sicimoğlu,
dikkat çekti.
just
Vakfa
like
destek
emphasize the
beklediklerini
importance of
belirtti.
the underwater
Türkiye
archaeology.
sualtı arkeolojisi de dünya lideridir.
Turkey is the leader
Çünkü
in nautical
bütün
archaeology.
tarihte bütün ticaret yolları
Because
Türkiye'den
throughout
geçer,
the
Anadolu'dan geçer.
history, all
Anadolu
the
kıyıları
trade
çok-
routes
Anadolu kıyılarının
are crossing
Akdeniz'e olan
the coastal region
uzunluğu
of
en fazla
Anatolia,
ülkelerin ülkedir Türkiye.
which is the one of the largest, longest. Yeah, that's the like they cut it in the YouTube. I don't know. But I think it gave an idea. Yeah.
Then Mustafa Koç speaks after this. He should have a heart. He said, "I learned this from Ayhan Sicimoğlu."
Yeah. We saw it. He said, yeah.
He said, yeah.
People say rest in peace.
Anyway, this is a little episode that you probably did not know about my life.
And not all of it, but I'm surprised
yes.
to hear like forming a scientific institution, which is what we need above all else.
Big time.
Yeah.
We really need this, because I say we don't have oil like the Arabic countries do beneath our soils, but we have history. My God, we have the world's richest history ever. Asia Minor is a shining star of the world. Look at the world map and just guess. Give the world map to a kid and tell the kid he knows nothing about the world. Show me the most interesting spot where everything crosses. He'll show you Asia Minor, because it's from east to west, from north to south, from whatever, you end up in this piece of land which is called Asia Minor, Anatolia. That's why the old world is centered here. Of course, sea trades are being the most important. The most important sea trade routes are from the Asia Minor area. So the islands like Midilli, which is Lesbos, or Chios, Sakız Adası in Turkish, or further down in Samos, are the most important islands ever. I mean, of course, Rhodos, big time, and of course Cyprus, being on the routes to which is right in the middle of the routes to the towards east, and of course Crete, and even Malta, if you want, which is where it all started. So these islands are the most important parts of the world. But Asia Minor is where all the cultures are born, and Greece. But Asia Minor more than Greece.
Yeah, as we know, yeah. Okay, so we were talking about in this region, the Mediterranean, Anatolia, Greece, Black Sea, but let's talk about the cultures of the world a bit more. And I want to ask you, since you're like a traveler and then saw most of the world, let's say, what do you think about the similarities and differences between peoples of the world? So let's talk about first the similarities. And we also talked this about in our Turkish interview.
Yes.
But let's maybe some new ideas. You can't swim twice in the same river. They say the same, right? I don't know. So okay. What do you think about the similarities on the peoples of the world?
Similarities. That's the big question. I can talk about the opposite the non-similarities.
Okay, yeah, maybe just start with that. Let's start with that.
It's easier to discuss. Of course, everything is. I mean, this world started blending in with conquistadors. Conquistador. You know what the word means, right?
Yeah.
Conquistadors, which is
conquerors.
Conquerors, exactly. So, which is what? Who's conquering who? First, people came from Asia Minor, inland, and they went towards the west, and they formed a different sort of race mixed with the Byzantine, with Anatolian cultures, and they had formed another civilization, which later on, influenced by Islam, became what's known as the Ottoman Empire. So Ottoman Empire, when, of course, with all the potere, with all the declining and the decadency of the Byzantine world, conquered all these lands, and in the end, we conquered Istanbul, which was the end of an era. So what happens when Istanbul was conquered, and this land is conquered, they have new landlords now here, so which would tax all this trade between the Far East and the West world. People try to reach East, not through Asia Minor, Eastern Mediterranean, but going westward, as you know the story, going west. So they have found this new lands, the Caribbean islands and America and South America. And when they saw the richness of South America, they're very vicious Spanish conquerors. Conquerors are vicious. I'm not trying to be nationalistic. I mean, Turks were, of course, they were too.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, all the conquistadors. Romans, my God, you know, before Turks, you know, hey, and the Spanish and the Portuguese towards west, South America, all the way down to Peru, all the way up to almost Machu Picchu, but they will never found that. It was interesting.
Yeah.
So they all this, the gold and the silver, which they captured from those lands, you know, carrying, and the black people, they carried from Africa to all these lands for man force to work in cotton fields, in gold mines, in the sugar cane. The black people, the slaves, for the formation of America. America was what? America is what the French would send their prisoners as a, you know,
like an exile.
Exile. So like even if you go to prison or you go to America, sort of thing. Sorry, Americans. You know.
With no offense.
With all the respect, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, of course, but the history. I mean, the Turks. Hey, like even when I go to Greek islands, they first years ago. Now the Turks go, but years ago, 30, 40 years ago, when I traveled to Greek islands with my sailboat, they saw a Turkish flag and they freak out.
Okay.
You know? But now the Turks are bringing money, so they love them. Anyway, but at that time it was kind of a bit sort of, hey, because they are scared that there have been some stories about Turks coming and chopping in Chios, the Chios massacre.
Yeah.
They burned. So I mean,
it's super interesting though. Like I remember reading stuff about how the Pope at that time, or like some kings, are trying to create an image, a stereotyped image of Turkic people, to create followers, to form armies. Because then some people, some theories suggest that the vampire myth in the Europe are also stemming from Transylvania, and then coming from the Turkish people. Super interesting. And then we see that how perceptions can be bent. That's I always find it super. Like again, as you said, who's conquering what? Can we really reclaim land or nature for ourselves? I mean, if I killed you here, and then I put walls around it, and it's mine now. Can I really say that in real terms? I mean, That sounds really like, I mean, if we were like a alien race and then looking into the world now and I see the borders and everything, I it would be funny for me. What do you think?
I agree. If we were aliens only, of course.
Yeah.
But now when we live in this world, and we have different stories being told, different people to us all the time. Like all these years, parentheses, all these years about the Yeniçeri, Janissaries of the Sultans, they would go to Balkan areas and Yugoslavia and recruit young men and bring him and force them by force from their families, which is a big lie now. Now they found out that, which is not so, because people wanted to join. So like they will send, let me tell you a story. They will send one of the pashas or one of the soldiers to the village, and he would go to the village chief and he would say, give me a list of all the men after age 13 up to age teenage, up to age 16, but it should be a teenager with it.
Yeah.
But if it's only one child, we don't touch it. More than one child, we will check. We might take one with us. So the families, up to us, we thought that which happened by force. They would come and like take them away, rip them away from the families. No. Now they found out that the families, they tried to bribe the chief of the village to put their son on the list.
Because it's something good.
Yes,
for them.
Because they're so poor that son could have been a vizier, and all the viziers are from that area of the Ottoman Empire. They could become a pasha or a vizier and marry the sultan's daughter. I mean, so this peasant boy would become a world leader.
Yeah.
So that you see, all these things now they're changed. They're different. What we thought it was not this. It was not so. It was the other way around.
Yeah.
We find this makes me. This is quite interesting for me to find this new like I told you I go to Greek islands. If you buy a tourist book in Greek islands 40 years ago, you would say, it tells you about the island's history. Oh, Turks came in 17, blah, blah, blah, and they chopped 2,000 heads, executed, and then they left, da, da, da, da. But now, if you go to Greek island and buy a book, it says, like in Patmos. Other day, I was in Patmos. Last year, not other day. This year, I'll go there again. I went a couple of movies at Patmos, Manastırları, at the religious centers of Patmos. It's a very important Orthodox religion thing, Patmos. So it says the Turkish period was the high zenith time of the Greeks, this island, because the trade was flourished, and the pirates wouldn't dare to come. Same thing in Chios, where they're making the mastika. The beautiful thing to steal by the pirates. When the Turks came,
Let me give you an example. If I find a picture in Leiden, the city I live, the most famous street called Breestraat, really old. And while I was walking there, so in an old building, and on top of the building, what do you say, like the let's say forehead of the building, you know, the I don't know the architectural term, the triangle shape on top in the facade, there was like a bearded sultan alike, a figure that carved there, and in the top of it says Gouden Turk, which means golden Turk. And I asked like the people around here, the old people, like what's it all about? Why I see like in the most famous street in the oldest city in the Netherlands, I see like a golden Turk and then like a shape. And they said it is let me find the picture. Gouden, or yeah, it says in Vergulden Turk, in the memory of the golden Turk. It says in literal. And if I find a picture, it is because I found it. So it is because the reason is that at around that time, the Netherlands ship, Dutch ships, were having problems with the pirates, the trade route, and then they asked the help for Ottoman Empire, and then they just say, okay, at the back of your ship, just put the Ottoman flag. That would be enough. That would keep the pirates at bay. So in the like giving in their show their gratitude, they put it in the facade of that building, which is like a trade building, very old trade building.
You see, to fly an Ottoman flag, you have to pay a tribute. It's like nowadays, what's the word? It's like loyalty.
Yeah, royalty. Yeah.
Royalty. Royalty dues. Like if you fly a Turkish flag, which is a scimitar with one arm, scimitar carrying a cut arm like and green and red maybe, and because a lot of the pirates when they come in and you hoist the flag, they stop. They turn around and go away.
They wouldn't risk going into war with the empire. Yeah.
So if you can only do it if you give some percentage of your some money.
Yeah.
To the bay in North Africa. Or
cut, yeah.
Yeah, of course. And in lottery, 1/3. Anyway, so all these stories, what was quite interesting. The things that are different than what they are, what we have been told. It's not exactly the same. The history is changing.
Yeah.
And with the Uluburun shipwreck, we had the pleasure and the honor of changing the history as well. Something which thought didn't exist, it did exist.
Yeah, that's why we should always keep doing research and then always keep looking. Science is not an end, but it's a means to an end. So it's always being on the road. And then I had a video, one of the first videos actually. I was doing a show in the live stream called Psychology of Everything. And in one of the episodes, I talked about the limit theorem, limit theory of the mathematics, which you can get close to the asymptote but never reach it. It goes to the infinity, which is really similar to science. And in science, it's never perfect. It will never be perfect, but you should always keep trying. It's the best thing that we have. So always these knowledge in the history, maybe we will never know what really happened, but we will always keep getting closer and closer, right? Which brings me to another question about, we were talking about the differences, and you said talking with the differences better, like easier, which brings me to a really good example. So remember what we thought about aliens. If we were an alien race, we would think that it's super funny and nonsense what we do today, but not if we were like a part of a race, like a Turkish race, or like, I don't know, a Western race, blah blah. So then it makes sense to keep borders and everything. So then in 1950s and 60s, a psychologist in the US, who is called Muzaffer Sherif, the Turkish descendant psychologist, and really less known in Turkey, which makes me sad. Muzaffer Sherif come up with and his wife also come up with a theory which is called realistic conflict theory. You heard it before?
No.
No? Okay. The most famous example is the Robbers Cave experiment. What he did, he go to high school and recruited many youngsters. They should be boys. And then he just like posted something, and then, okay, we're going to a summer camp. Who will come? And then they signed in, and they go to an experiment together. And what he did from the beginning, there were 2 buses to carry them. Just differentiated 2 buses. The boys who randomly been in the, let's say, school bus A and school bus B, and after they reached the camp, with the school bus A, he said, you will stay in this dormitory, strictly away from the school bus B, and you will stay in this dormitory. And you should make yourselves flags. And they all did flags to themselves. And then after a while, he started to reduce the resources. Available resources at the beginning were enough for both teams, both groups. And then when he reduced the resources, when the resources become scarce, the 2 teams become identified with their flags more and more, and then there started conflict. The one group just broke the glasses of the dormitory of the other, and then the fight started and everything. And then they thought, okay, how do we solve that? Now we know if the resources are scarce and we give them an identity to groups, if they make flags and if they have their names, they could become easily enemies. Now what they did, in one of the days, the car is broken, and then only way to the car to be repaired, to be fixed, that the teams work together. Then they created what they called a superior goal. When there's a superior goal above the two teams, when they had to come together and work together to solve it, then they become friends. And at the end of the experiment, when they worked together for the same goal, same superior goal, at the end, he just told them, you could choose which bus you want. There's no restriction now. And then what he observed, the boys mixed. They no longer choose the specific bus and specific flags, but the teams become, as we say, as one. So I think this is a really, really influential experiment, and there's much to be learned in this. Did you see in your travels or in your stories, did you find example to this when people come together for like a common goal? Do you have any examples on this, or what do you think about it? Just curious.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, it's an amazing experiment, which I would love. And maybe if one day, like the science fiction movies, if we have attacked by aliens from different world, and maybe we shall become all together. The world Russia will become friends with America, and we become friends with Greeks, because we have to fight the aliens only with a stronger hand. That might be the only time that the world will ever unite. Otherwise, the world will never unite. Exactly. unless. But there's no unless, because what I would like to believe one day, that all these countries get together, powerful countries, rich countries, and make a fund which will stop this immigration problem now. And why would people immigrate if you're not comfortable where you are? Like in Syria, if there's a war, who's going to come to Turkey or try to escape to the Greece with putting their life into danger, and then maybe sinking, getting killed, drowned in the seas, and because you want to leave, because there is trouble there. So if the countries hand in hand solve the problem of Syria,
they wouldn't need it for.
There wouldn't be any immigration. But of course, when I went to Chios, it was so sad. The Chios is the island very close to Turkey. You could go there by windsurf.
Yeah.
And maybe you can swim if you're a very good swimmer. And I have some very close friends in Chios. I have made many episodes. And last time I went there, the shore was full of orange-colored life vests.
Wow.
Because they would come with their rubber boat, get in the shore, throw their life vests away, and walk over the mountain into the town, and and surrender to the Greek forces. Say that I'm a political asylum, so you have to first get your paper, and they put tents in the parks. All the Chios Central Park, which was a beautiful park, full of trees and grass, I know for many years, full of tents now. But something very weird happened, something very ugly. And my friend's wife, Ria, beautiful girl, she's running a gym. What's the word now? The girls go to the gym.
Fitness.
Fitness, but there's a word now.
Pilates.
Pilates.
Yeah.
Yes.
My sister is a Pilates trainer.
Exactly. So is Ria. We should put that. Ria went to Athens for 2 winters in a row to learn to become an instructor. She came back to her island, Chios, and opened up a beautiful Pilates, which I've seen. Wonderful. I'm not a Pilates man. All this wooden sort of benches and whatnot for Pilates business. Anyway, so she's like a good girl. So she, from all the women of the village, of the island, she gathered blankets to give these people. So they were saying, thank you. In the tents, they were cold, they from water, they swam, so they give blankets. But the idea of this immigration, their idea is not coming to Greece. They want to go to Sweden or Finland. Sweden.
Yeah.
That's the final goal. The Northern European. They don't want to hang in Turkey or Greece or anything. But the first thing they do, they go to enroll. They get a piece of paper, like immigration paper, whatever paper from the Greek government, and they jump. They pay 2,000 euros per person to some smugglers in Turkey to smuggle them out of Turkey to put them in Greek soil per person, 2,000 euros. But once you get to Greece and get your paper, you pay 35 euros to go to Athens by a big boat,
yes.
A passenger scheduled ferry boat. But the Greeks were so nice about this. I admire them for this, to tell you the truth. But and then before they would leave, explain me as a psychiatrist. I think I explain myself. Before they would go on this boat, buy their tickets. They go on the big ship. Every night there's a ferry kiosk
from the island to Athens.
To Athens, they would go, and they would throw that blanket into the sea. So before the boat leave, Ria said, "It's amazing all this time effort that we fish them out, we wash them and dry them, give them again." Poor girls. So why would you not surrender here? Here I am in my boat. I bought my ticket. I'm leaving. Thank you very much for taking care of me. Here I give your blanket back to you. So please give it to the next people coming. They don't do that. They throw it into the sea. So this was like, I tried to explain why would they. Then I thought, now you tell me what you think of this. Then I thought they just want to leave everything behind from their old life. I mean, they would just take their shirt and their trousers, whatever they have, and I guess that's all they have. Maybe a little
luggage
or suitcase. I mean, because they travel by boat, and they would throw everything, which blanket is extra for them, and they, instead of surrendering it, they are shy to give it back, so they throw it away. Is that? I mean,
it's really hard to infer a meaning for that, but yeah, it could be the way that, as you think, that they want to leave everything behind, but why not to give to the people, like the new, exactly. I don't know.
Isn't that amazing? So, with all the respect, because I was thinking that I must sound like a fascist, racist thing, Turks. No, because Turkey, Ottoman Empire, let me give it a little insert.
Yeah.
Ottoman Empire, towards the end, was not very nice. In the beginning of 17th, 18th century, there has been some quite incapable sultans and incapable rule, because so big to manage.
Yeah.
Same happened with the Roman Empire. Yeah. It was too big to manage, so it started losing. It started decaying, and other foreign powers, thanks to England, if I may say so, the imperialists, England -- which I mean everything. The French, England pushed the Greeks, megalo idea, to gain back their lost land, big zero dream, which they should have never ever. Now they regret it. They should have never done it if the English sort of talked them into doing it. Yeah. Because everybody, this animal is dying. Before the animal is dead, let's grab a big piece of meat. The French said, "Okay, I'll take the leg part, which is nice. The eastern, the southeastern part, Iraq, that area." British said, "Oh, we take Istanbul." They all came to Istanbul. I mean, this before the animal is dead, they want to cut it away and eat it.
Yeah.
So they're like vultures. Yeah. Vultures into this land. So all this, and the sultans, of course, they had no power, no money, the bankrupt. No money no army. They signed a deal. They dismantled the army, and then of course, but they forgot about Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. And this is my hero, number one of all times. Out of all the historical heroes, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk is number one.
Mine also.
I think he is from space. He's an alien from a good planet, though.
But I also like the. Of course, he's the one. But I think what they forget about is there could be a Turkish person as capable and as a good leader as him. But also, I think it's equally important also that the people will follow him. And people do unimaginable bravery, I think. Because the Turkish people has their, like, if you force them to corner, if you force them to the end, they could do really unimaginable things. That was also the reason.
Here comes your bus theory.
Yeah.
Because Turkey is made out of different races.
Yeah.
We have 18 different races. We have the Arabs, we have the Cherkess, Caucasians, we have the Laz, we have the Greeks,
yeah.
We have the Yugoslavians, we have the Black Sea, Russian,
Russian descendant, let's say
descendants, a lot of Russian, a lot of the Dutch descendants. So we have so all these people, they became one heart, one soul. Bus theory. Here's your bus
realistic conflict theory. Yeah. So the when there's a superior goal, when there's a common enemy, they could form, and also the strategies and everything. So in the wars, the Sakarya battles, let's say, I think battle, and then also the great Büyüktaarruz, great attack, and then in those things they were thinking, okay, that's the theory. They should form a line and they should defend the line. No, why we should defend the line? We could create areas to defend, which is the famous word. Hattı müdafaa yoktur, hattı müdafaa vardır. Yes. Like there's no line defense, there's an area defense, and then like a new theory in the military history of the world. So those things are I think good. And what I was going to say about it, the examples, like the Syrian example, I think is really heartbreaking, as Dege says in the chat. I think really heartbreaking, and also. You remember a picture when you talk about the life vests? A picture come to my mind. The Ayhan baby Ayhan. That picture. I won't show it here because there could be like some minors watching. But the picture, which also brings us the press, media, is a really powerful tool, and it could be used for good, but also for bad. Powerful. And there's really seldom used for good, and it's a really good example for using good. That one picture. The picture that they saw the European countries, when they saw it, then they understood what's going on.
One other picture, you know what happened which I learned in Vietnam. Vietnam, the American press stopped the war, exactly. And that was the last war where the press had complete freedom. From that war onwards, no press was ever free. Find that picture about this girl burned with the napalm bomb. That one photo ended the war. Yeah. You can show that also to minors. There's nothing wrong with it. I think Kim, her name is Kim, the girl crying with this village burning behind her. They're walking all in nude because their clothes are burned.
Yeah. The palm girl. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And but now. I found another interview. You can find it. The napalm, that photo girl. Now she's an elderly lady.
Yeah.
And now she says, "I forgive Americans."
Oh.
She says, "The war is a war is war. Now that everything is past, it's gone." And that girl, she's now 70, 80 years old, whatever. I forgot. 60 years old. She had you can find it in the internet. It's quite interesting. You can see you can see her face, that she's that girl, elderly lady sort of age, and she's like, "I forgive them." Such a big heart. Maybe I wouldn't have. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. But because It was the biggest stupid war ever in movie which I made in Vietnam. In the end, I ended with that photo and I started crying. That's how my movie ended. You can look at it afterwards. Vietnam, Ayhan Sicimoğlu, Vietnam, YouTube. You'll see.
The survivors of war usually says I forgive, because
Yes.
With those kinds of traumas, if you let's assume if you don't forgive, you can't do anything now. You're just like a woman, Vietnamese woman. You can't start a new war. You can't avenge the what happened. But also, if you don't, so you after this conflict, after this violence, you don't want more violence. I think so. I think it makes sense to be. Usually people, survivors of the kinds of war, like they said, they don't want any more war. They want only peace.
Hiroshima.
Exactly. They forgive, and I think better results come out of forgiveness than war. Of course, we could agree on that. So that's a good example. I really like that it comes to here, and then we talk this heavy and important stuff, because now I see, because lots of you have lots of international friends, and if you let them know about this interview, and if they watch the other people in the world, then this message could reach all over the world. This is my hope. Also,
Yes,
yeah,
you know what my hope is? You want to hear my hope?
of course.
My hope is, a lot of people will not agree with me. My hope is, if there will be nations, my hope is, of course, there should be no nations, everybody hold hands. But that seems to be, unless we have an alien attack, then we have to get together. But at least we could do is Greece and Turkey should hold hands, like they used to.
Yeah.
Before. They should stop this latest. Yes.
State,
not
or
become,
just like being a
no, not becoming like one country again. The religious differences, whatnot. But it's easy. It's not easy. It's too utopic to think of that one country. But at least hold hands and solve their problems once for all, which Atatürk did with Venezuelans. Even they were big enemies, then they became best friends.
Exactly.
And hold hands all together. Same culture, same people. And all my other day, like after I think it was after I make interview with you, I think was it after I went to Castellorizo, Greek island, sailing. Was it?
We did it Tuesday, last Tuesday. We did the Turkish interview.
When was I? What was I? And I met some great people. From where? And we became so good friends. In the end, with the lady, I was like, hugging and almost crying when we departed, and with her husband. They're from Cyprus. They're from Cyprus. Like they were supposed to be like, okay, not enemies, but they would be. They're supposed to be little broken-hearted, whatever. But they were not, because then I was shooting. With the restaurant, a food show for my TV shows. He was making the best octopus ever.
Okay.
Octopus. And so she was there listening to this, watching me doing my show, and she said, "Oh my God, I went all last night into YouTube, watch all your movies in Turkish, even though I didn't understand. I understand them all. Such a great person." They became good. But there's same culture, same thing. Cyprus. They should have never been a war in Cyprus. Stupid war ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super interesting with what the states think. The countries, the state heads think. If there's no correspondence from the people, the base, it doesn't work. So if the states had our enemies, they think the other is bad. The people doesn't think so.
No.
That's the problem. And then the people have their power, but seldom, again I repeat, seldom they notice, they recognize that their power. So with the last, you heard about the Amazon fire, and then you heard the Turkish Izmir fires,
yes.
And then I was super angry, and I wanted to change something, create a campaign, social media campaign. At least I could do from here. I wanted to say this: the ruling people, politicians, in US, in Brazil, in Turkey, they should understand that we have the power as people. We can only form a coercion over them with our votes. So I would say, like, I want to say, like, if many people, if like 100, at least 100,000 people come and say in social media or wherever, they say, I will vote for the party or for the person who will stop the forest fires. I will vote for the person who will give me the best internet. I will vote for the person who will give me the free media. Then they would maybe think, oh, that's the voters' mind now. But we don't say, we just criticize, either like it or not like it. That's all. But we should tell them, this is our power, this is our voting power. I will vote for these people. I would say, like, in the whole world, the voters came and then say that we will vote for the government who will do something about the climate change in their own world. Imagine that. Then Trump would have no choice to sign the treaty, because that's the pressure from bottom up pressure, what I say.
Well, there are three topics now in the world in Turkey as we speak. One is the lady who got stabbed by her husband.
Exactly.
Turkey is becoming the champion of the world by this
domestic violence.
Domestic violence, female violence against females. They start killing them one by one. The husband, the jealous husbands, or whatnot. That's like the last one was quite sad. And before that is the fire, and before that is the gold mines in Kazda, the Mount Ida.
Exactly.
So another topic. And guess who is getting the justice there? Social media. I wrote the other day to somebody said something bad about it. I said, listen, I cannot sue you here because there's no the practice of law in Turkey is not as strong as it used to be. So I have my lawyers, but then nothing will come out.
Okay.
The God's punishment in the other world, if there is one, I do not know. I will never see it, and I don't know if I believe it or not. It's something which is beyond my reach. But the law of social media is on your shoulders, and they will get you, which they did.
Yeah.
Which they did. You know who this guy was? I was the first one who started this whole thing. The guy who was driving from the emergency lane.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. What happened to that guy?
Okay. The mayor called me. He says he has come to surrender, which he did. And the chief police was shaking his hand, welcome to the police station. And that's we made another issue. Okay, he surrendered, but he's like going to a guest house, not going to jail. So, and the police was suspended. And yes, and he was imprisoned immediately upon surrendering, which normally they don't. But now, latest news that he was taken to trial. Again, is free. But now people understand the social media could punish you because this social pressure. And I said to him, I'm not kidding, but I'll try to punish you by social media, which I did. I think after this, a lot of newspapers wrote this. A lot of people, because I have like 500,000 followers in Instagram, over 700,000, I think, or 600, I don't know, in Twitter.
Yeah.
Yes,
people should use the people, the celebrities like yourself. I think they have this great responsibility with the followers, because they could make things work. I see, the Haluk Levent with his the platform, our platform, which is really good, and he doesn't leave the trace, doesn't let it go. You follow like to the end. Like if they release him again, he works again to imprison the man who did the crime, to imprison again, which I really find it valuable. Couple of months ago, we started a campaign which is called Kaynak Göster in Turkish, and if you translate, show your reference, like a hashtag, which is really easy to use, and then you can tell the people who give information, like who just fake news or who gives facts. They say like, okay, I saw it, it was like that, and then people started to ask, what's your reference? Show your reference, and we started to see the implications of it now, slowly but surely. I'm super happy about it, and that it's that the social media can change something. It's not that the virtual world that you wrote something and it's forgotten. No, it can change something, and given the fact that you have enough followers, we don't have yet, but we will have. But support is super important. Then when we started this show your reference campaign, Popular Science
Nice
Turkey.
campaign.
Sorry.
Nice campaign.
Exactly. So then the Popular Science Turkey, the Tree of Evolution, Cosmic Anaphor, lots of famous people, lots of like the Twitter influencers. They just retweeted it, and I saw when you can follow the hashtags, right? Like who used it lastly. And when I last checked it, some people started asking the MPs. An MP says something, and then they say, okay, dear MP, what's your reference? Show your reference about this political issue. And then they started to ask the newspapers, just made this new, but what's your resource? What's your source? Show your reference. And I really find it important, and we would be really appreciated if you would also help us, distribute this campaign.
I will. I mean, I would. A couple of words to these people, young people especially in the world, in Turkey. I don't understand how, but some people have like 1 million, 2 million followers, young kids, young boys and girls, and I don't know how they get, but they get it. They should use it for a good purpose. Do not use like, okay, of course you can issue jokes, which I do myself too. Every now and then, because people get tired of this always murders and fires and gold diggers and and after a while you say, oh my God, I mean, and you have to at least relax, say a happy good morning or one stupid joke,
yeah,
one something funny or some cat doing a funny, I mean, some little video of an animal doing something. I mean,
or they could convert it to the income. Some of them like really gain money with doing the advertisement, promotions about it. Okay, that's also good, but they should use it at least
good purposes.
Yeah,
good purposes. I use it too. I mean, people offer me money for this social media. My first condition is I have to like the product. If I don't like a product, I cannot do one Instagram for $1 million. I will not.
Exactly. Yeah.
First, I have to trust, and Ayhan Bey, could you please, how much you charge? So the other day I made something for the Sabancı group about Atatürk, and I said there's money involved in it, which they paid me. I said, do not pay me, pay Eğitim Ürünleri Vakfı, to the foundation of the Eğitim Ürünleri, education volunteers group. At least it goes to something. I mean, it's not too much money, but that money is not for me nothing, maybe, which I would spend in one dinner in Paris. But that would maybe provide scholarship of a young boy or girl in a primary school for 1 year.
Also, most important thing with the promotions, there is this responsibility to write somewhere it's a promotion, not your own idea. So because some influencers they say something about a product, and there's no way to say if it's their own idea or they get paid for it. So that's really important that they should say, okay, this is a promotion, and I'm blah blah blah blah blah, because then the people would understand. Oh, this is for promotion, or this is for like a real idea, real opinion person. I also find it.
All right. Well, what else? If you're through, I will have to go and drink some water, and eat something before tonight. I'm heading back to Istanbul. Tomorrow I have some prova rehearsals with a guy coming from Greece, Buzuki Orhan. He plays Buzuki. And
Nice.
he is my guest at the Rhodos and Bodrum Jazz Festivals. This year, Rhodos and Bodrum became sister festivals. So there'll be one band coming from Rhodos Festival to Bodrum, and vice versa. One band who plays in Bodrum will go to Rhodos, which is us. But there's a problem with the visas, which was the late thing, and I thought it was all solved. Nothing was solved, so they're trying to grab us a one-day visa for my musicians. If they cannot take it, we will not go.
Sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I have visa for Schengen for like 5 years. I've been in a residency and everything, but if one of my musicians don't come, I don't go.
Either good idea. Yeah, good idea.
One for all for one.
Exactly. Okay, then lastly, we have some questions from the viewers. I can ask them and then we can finish it.
Sure.
And Dege said, Mr. Sicimoğlu, do you have a memory from your travels that you're fond of? To share with us. Maybe
so
lots
many.
of memories.
Oh man, so many, so many. Let me try to remember one which is, funny, good, and sort of, helping. Okay, me and my. Okay, no, this is a good one. I went to Argentina, invited by the Argentinian tourism board, whatever, conjunction with Turkish Airlines, the invites.
Okay.
Me, my two cameramen, I don't have enough money for the assistant, so it was 3 of us. We go. So what do I want to shoot in Argentina? Okay, I want to go to a good meat restaurant. Unfortunately, I cannot show wine in Turkish television because against Turkish radio television Rütük law. I cannot drink or show or promote any alcohol. Lately, this happened. And either I have to do or not do. So I said, okay, so we have to obey the rules. So, okay, I cannot go to wine in Argentina. I can go to meat in Argentina, which I did. And I said, I want to learn tango dancing in Argentina, in my movies. There should be a girl teaching me how to dance the tango.
Okay.
With the musicians. And the neon and the piano and playing the tangos. And but the truth of they got the message wrong. And I said, tonight there'll be a car coming pick you up from your hotel. You go to a tango show. I said, what's a tango show? Oh, you're going to a hall with a bunch of tourists. There's a table there for you to eat and meet, and we watch. I said, I don't want to watch a show. I want to be in the show. You got me wrong. So I'm not going. I said, Mr. Sicimoğlu, I cannot go. I cannot wait. I have to stop the dance, put 2 cameras, and take details of the hand, of the face, I'm making movie. I should be on stage. They teach me. Otherwise, if I go to a show and shoot from camera, it's nothing for me. So I'm not going. So my cameraman, I did. So, but they got the message. Next day, they said, Mr. Sicimoğlu, we got the picture. We're sorry. We understood now what we have to do. We found you one of the best small tango clubs. Fine. There'll be a tango dancer couple, a girl and a man and a woman, and 3 live musicians. Nobody, no clients, not showtime. They'll come in the afternoon and do it with you, whatever they want.
Like a special session.
Like a special session. So I put 3 cameras, one I went to the hall, 1 camera here, 1 camera there. They come, so I dressed into my tuxedo with the stripes and the shiny shoes and the comb my hair, with my So this beautiful girl came with a very handsome husband. They were married, and she says, and they said, and they said, we brought you the best tango dancer in Argentina, and she says, Ayhan Bey merhaba, ben Ankara'dan Pelin.
What? Wow.
Isn't that nice? I said, wow. I'm from Pelin from Ankara. What the hell are you doing in there? She graduated from the Pelin, the great girl. She graduated from university in Ankara. I don't know which one. And she went to USA for masters. And when you know, American universities, of course, there's a lot of social activities. So there are clubs that you enroll. Like there's a tango club, there's a salsa club, history club, book reading club, travel club, this club, photography club, da, da, da. So she enrolled in a tango club.
And then become the best.
No, so the tango, so they stopped dancing tango in the American, I forgot which, Boston, I don't know, I'm just guessing. So they said, okay, now let's make a field trip to Argentina, to Buenos Aires, because we'll show, let's see the tango in action. Now we can dance and everything. Let's go and join them with the professional dancers of the Argentina. So they fixed a trip to Argentina, where she came and she met all these tango people. They danced together. They showed them some other styles or whatever. So they went back to USA. She finished her master's. She went back to Argentina, met the guy who were partners with, and then she married to him, stayed, and became the best dancer tango of Argentina.
Wow. Really good story.
Is that nice?
Thank you, Dege, for asking.
Pelin Hanım, you can look in there's one, I made a photo of one huge one-page cover of Turkish Hürriyet newspapers, the biggest one, it was the biggest paper in Turkey, was not anymore. I write there every weekend a travel supplement, supplement, the whole travel supplement.
Okay.
And then I had the whole front page this size of me and Pelin dancing. In Argentina. You have to go into Hürriyet archives to find this out.
Okay.
You can write Hürriyet Seyahat, Ayhan Sicimoğlu, Arjantin. It'll come. Can you find it?
Yeah.
You want to find it?
I'm looking now. And
Ayhan Sicimoğlu, Arjantin. Is it coming out? Should.
archive.
Maybe. Is there a search bar at the Hürriyet? I can look at my. Really? Let me see.
Archive.
Anyway, if you can find it, forget it this time.
Yeah, okay. One more question. By the way, Yutugen says, I wish is a good air. Thank you. Many people followed. I'm sorry. I apologize. I couldn't read them all, but all of them are welcome. And this is the second stream of our English channel, which was the first was about cognitive dissonance, and then this is about travel and cultures. I really like this new version, and then we will stream to the whole world. Why not? Just remain isolated in Turkish language? And then there's a question from my father, which I'm bound to ask. I have no.
From your father?
If it's coming from my father, I'm bound. I'm sorry. He says, is there a relationship between the cultural level of the country and their economies? What do you think of?
Come again? Is there
a relationship between an association between the cultural level of countries and their economic development, economic level?
Not exactly, because I've seen poor countries with amazing cultural level. I've seen rich countries. I mean, America, if I may say so.
Okay.
Sorry, Americans. Sorry, Americans. America really rich, and they said, I'm walking and say, where do you come from? I said, Turkey. Is that in Africa?
Okay.
It's America.
That's the cultural level. Okay.
Cultural level. Horrible. Excuse me. But at the same time, I lived in New York City for 10 years, and I have some quite intellectual friends. I still have some very close friends. They are like super. They are wide-angled people, Americans. I mean, they really, as a whole, this the other side of it. But it's generally, it's the land of cowboys.
I see.
But I mean, but then let me give you a counter example. I mean, go to, let's say, Vietnam.
Yeah.
Poor.
Yeah.
Oh, go to India. Go to India. Poor.
But that they send a satellite to the Mars orbit of.
They send satellite to Mars, and they are doing all the world's softwares.
Yeah.
And but like billions of people living inside. They're clean. They eat health food. They are polite. I mean, they are non-aggressive. They did not eat. I mean, I'm talking about Buddhist part. No,
Not a
they don't
whole,
eat.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
of
big.
course. I mean,
Yeah, India.
I mean, I'm not. You know, I'm not supposed to, but I'm generalizing it. So here's another example. It's a very poor country, but a great culture.
Yeah.
So I mean, Japan, another phenomenal, rich country, extremely rich, but they don't show it. You don't see a Rolls Royce with men with 6 gold wristwatch and women with diamonds about this size. Maybe the guy's a billionaire, but he's like, you know, the guy on the street. I mean, you don't. They have this amazing culture of not showing their wealth.
Yeah.
But come to Turkey, unfortunately, excuse me, Turks again, especially this new Turkey, if I may say so. I mean, this guy cannot speak a word in any language, including Turkey,
including his own,
including Turkish.
Okay.
But he's like he's driving this. They love Mercedes-Benz 380 XT LHBH, whatever, all the alphabet behind it. I mean, but you go to his house, and he's all this gold-plated chairs. But if you sit one of them, they break or something. And he has no garden. He has no hobbies. He doesn't listen to any music. Doesn't travel. He doesn't. I mean, another super well filthy rich, but minus culture. New Turkey. I'm not talking about everybody here again. There's this new people here with the new money, which is quite dangerous. Anyway, so I don't see this to your father.
Okay. Which brings me to the people that you know. Sorry. The people you know. No. Last question. The people you know. There's many people, and then these are really influential people, powerful people. How do you know all those people in your shows? Are you deliberately going to do your friends, or it seems to me you have friends all over the world? How that happened?
Okay, coming back. Let me just correct you something. Write this in the güzel havalarda dans eden hakiki bir Türk.
Okay.
Write this in your Google. I found the link to Argentina. Because I said Buenos Aires means good air. Güzel havalarda dans eden hakiki bir Türk. And then go down. There's a photo of people dancing on the street, correct?
Yeah, correct.
And go down. There's a food. Go down, and there's a photo with the girl. Pelin. This is Pelin. Best dancer. One of the best dancers. Huh? Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Yeah, now they see. Okay, we're good. Okay, so yeah, how do you know all those people? I was always curious, like how on earth that you have lots of friends in those places.
Let me tell you one thing. You know the secret. You know the key to this is intelligence. My teacher said to me, I mean, mind intelligence, IQ, and being because if you're intelligent and you have high IQ, you are most probably a good storyteller. Most probably, you don't know that there's this IQ, high IQ guys braining a scientist, but he doesn't talk. I'm not talking about this guy. I'm talking about the social intelligence.
Social intelligence.
Yeah. My teacher told me in my high school, he said, think about your friends. You never miss a stupid friend. The friends, forget about your family, your father, certain point. I'm asking you now. Think of all your friends in the world. Which one do you miss a lot?
Not necessarily the most intelligent one, I must say.
Yeah, but most socially intelligent one.
Most socially intelligent one, yes. That's
because he has things to give to you.
Yeah.
You take from him. You suck his sort of social intelligence. You devour his stories.
Yeah.
You love his style of storytelling, and you like to share things together. When you miss people, you miss the people that you want to share with.
Yeah.
You want to go out eat something together because he's going to tell you something funny. He's going to tell you something that you like to learn. That you learn from that food, from this. So he knows a lot to tell you. So you miss him because you want to see him again. So the reason I have friends, I think, now this is my theory again, because I have left a scar in their soul.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
So the other day I went to this little town in Sicily a couple of years ago, which I had been there like 5 years prior to that one. And because what was the name of the town? It's famous for its chocolates. So I said, I think I've been to the store probably 6 years ago, selling good chocolate. She had chocolates, bitter chocolates made with red pepper, very nice. Okay. Modica, the name of the town is Modica in Sicily. So Modica is famous with chocolates. Isn't that interesting? I'll tell you how. Anyway, so I went in. The girl, I do not remember the girl. There's I said, welcome back. It's been like 5 or 6 years, but we have missed you a lot.
Wow.
I've been only once for like half an hour shopping chocolates. And then she gave me some chocolates for free because we were chatting and we were laughing. And then she was giggling all the time. Like we were like, don't know what, I speak Italian, of course, that makes them easy to get along. Italian, they don't like to speak foreign languages, and so is Spanish. I speak Spanish as well. So, I get along with them in their own language. So she's never forgotten me. So now I have a friend there. I can go there anytime. Chocolate shopping. I forgot her name, but she remembers mine.
Now I see. Yeah. You make a You make something in their memories.
I leave a scar in their soul.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that was my last question. Actually, now I hope in one day we will, I don't know, in real life come together and then have this great chat. I really enjoyed both of our chats, both Turkish and English. Is the same holds for you?
Yes, sir. Yeah. All the way.
Thank you so much. I hope like in one day we will talk in real life. If you, I don't know, visit around this places or who knows? Okay.
Say hi to your father and that gentleman that was asking the questions again, of course, and again to everybody who's been following and listening to this. Maybe a little bit long. I hope it wasn't boring for you guys, and have fun. Take it easy. That's the good word, American word. Take it easy. Take it easy, bruh.
my mentality is the living is this. I don't know if they can see it. It's like there's in live like a squirrel, like in the great poem of Nazım Hikmet.
Let me introduce you. Nero, gel buraya. Gel buraya. Sen bir şey gör. Bak eşek gidiyor. Sana bir şey. Nero. Çok köpek var burada. I have a lot of dogs here. They're not mine. But they're like, Nero, gel evladım, gel. You be on television, Nero. Gel Nero. You're worldwide. Get. Ne bak gidiyor. Hiçbiri gelmiyor. Görüyor musun? They're camera shot. They're four dogs here. They're beautiful dogs. One after each other.
Wow. They say thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience with us. All the best in the world, and then hope to see you again. And I will finish it with again the great poem of On Living from Nazım Hikmet. I think that makes sense. Finishing this, and we will have more English streams with the professors from Leiden University. I have something in planned, and other professors. I have one friend from Yale. We'll talk about different brain stuff with her from Yale, and then from Leiden University. Be tuned. Be sure to follow our Twitch channel. Future is in the science, and indeed it is.
Go with İlber Ortaylı. Did you ever make with him?
We are contacting him, but he was hesitant. If you see him, help us. Please help us.
He's a good friend. I would tell him to get involved.
Thanks. Yeah, after Celal Şengör, we want him too.
Celal is a good friend as well.
Exactly. So please help us with the İlber Ortaylı and other friends of yours.
İlber is a good friend. She's a big fan of my daughter.
Ah, okay. Yeah, Ayhan Sicimoğlu.
She comes to listen to her operas, to every show she has. She's in the front seat.
Wow. Yeah, you mean he?
So, pardon, excuse me. But you should maybe make one with Ayşe.
Yeah, why not? Good idea. We could talk about the vocal science.
Fluent English and French.
Nice. Good idea. I made a note. I can have the contact from.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And we are closing with this great poem. And you see, the last thing, people can watch it. If you missed the live stream, you can watch it in our YouTube channel.
Yes.
And maybe yours, if you want, and your friend, and all over the world. And they can also listen as a podcast. This talk, they can listen in Spotify. If they go to Futures in the Science, go to Spotify, they would find this whole 2 hour of talk in audio as a podcast. They could also. Okay.
All the best.
See you.